Welcome to the video. So I'm going to recap the last 8 weeks where I've been on a postpartum 8-week fat loss journey and just go through what worked well for me. I had my first baby at the end of last year and it has been an absolute roller coaster. I put on a lot of weight when I was pregnant. The NHS recommend, or like the guidelines, something like between 10 and 15 kilos. If you add that on, that's like a healthy weight gain. I think it was about 24 in the end, 24 kilos that I added on. And I always had this in the back of my mind. I ate whatever I wanted when I was pregnant. I didn't feel guilty. I found pregnancy incredibly difficult. I just was so tired all the time and I got so fed up of feeling like I was running on low power and I just couldn't get comfortable, particularly towards the end. There was so many things that happened. I had a bit of a hospital stay, like just pregnancy was not for me. So grateful that we've got our baby girl, but we're done. We're done. I'm done. I gave birth, ended up having a C-section, absolutely fine. It was kind of like semi-planned, semi-emergency. I did get on the scales, I was weighing myself, and the weight did start coming off. I got about down to like 9-10 kilos off, and then it stalled. And then our friends came over, and I looked back at some pictures of myself with them, and I hated the way I looked. I wasn't in pre-pregnancy size clothes still, and I just felt like I was very wide. So it was time to change. So we did an 8-week cut, and it was kind of good because my husband was on a cut as well. So here's what I did to set myself up to succeed for my 8-week postpartum challenge. So I set a time frame. We had 8 weeks until our holiday in Italy. So that was the perfect amount of time to do this cut in. I drew out like a time frame on the fridge and I ticked days off where I met my calories and I crossed days where I didn't meet my calories. And that was really good because it made me see that I was having a lot more good days than bad days. But it also made me think like, oh, I've got to go to the calendar. Do I want to be eating this? Do I want to be going over kind of thing? So yeah, set up a chart for the fridge. That was step number one. Step number two, I did research on what calories I should have, put in all my metrics. I found some calculators online that were breastfeeding friendly calculators on what I should have been eating. The goal was to lose weight, but the higher priority is feeding my baby. So if at any point my milk supply was taking a hit, then we were going to go back up again. So the first week or two was purely experimental because I've never breastfed a baby before and tried to lose weight. And everything was fine. I didn't see a dip in my milk supply. Baby girl was content. So that was good. I then planned within the calories to make sure I could enjoy those calories and that I was having as much food as possible within those calories. The next thing that I did was just sticking to my fitness plan. I had a plan that was 4 days a week at that point, and that I would sometimes go to CrossFit as well if I felt like I had enough energy. If I was running low on energy, we just stuck to the 4. And then the last thing that I did was set a step goal. So we started off the step goal at 8,000 because I was not moving a lot at all at the start of this challenge. So it was at 8,000. After a few, maybe like 2 weeks, we upped it to 10,000 because I was hitting it easily. And then I've now upped it to 11,500 steps, which is a bit more of a stretch, a bit more of a challenge to reach it, but it's still doable. So just making sure that everything was achievable and I wasn't setting myself up for failure. My calories weren't too low. I could eat 4 meals within those calories. My steps were okay. I wasn't going to the gym every single day. So, and that's definitely key in sticking to your plan. Consistency for fat loss and making sure everything is achievable. If you're setting crazy goals, crazy step goals, wanting to go to the gym every single day, it's probably not going to happen, because rest and recovery is just as important. And also for me, rest and recovery helps me stay on track. So that was what I did last 8 weeks. So pleased with where I started and where I've ended up. Yes, I've had bad days and I've fallen off because I'm human. That's fine. But having that chart to see that it was more good than bad, 10 out of 10. So yeah, so here is where I started, and then this is now. Also going to share with you my trending weight loss chart. You can see it's just gradually going down. There's no like really high highs or low lows. So everything was just under control. My milk supply didn't take a hit. Baby girl was absolutely fine. The only thing that kind of hindered me or didn't go very well was at week 6. I was like, oh, I need to get to this weight. I had a goal weight at 68 kilos. I was like, I really want to get, I was at like 69 point something. And I dropped my calories by 250 for 2 days, hit the calories fine, and then just completely fell off the wagon. And I think I just dropped it way too low too soon. Um, and yeah, so that was the only thing that I was like, oh. And then so then for week 8, I put my calories back up and then higher than what they were, just so that I could still be within losing calories, but have a little bit more food and just feel a bit more relaxed. So for the short interlude, I suppose it actually wouldn't matter for you. But here's what I'm going to do again and what you should do to help your fat loss journey. So I'm going to set a time frame, 8 weeks after Italy. That's going to be the end goal. 2, I'm going to preset my calories, pre-plan some meals so that when I'm going through that time, it's nice and easy. I've got a bank I could choose from. And number 3, I've got my workout program. I work with a coach at the moment, so that's changed slightly from my last one. So I've got 3 weightlifting workouts a week that she programs for me. And then I tend to do an extra workout, either it's a CrossFit workout or a bumps and babies class with my little one. I'm going to increase my cardio and have a step goal. So my step goal is going to start at 11,500 steps where I'm at. And we'll just see how the challenge goes and make sure that I'm meeting it before I up it. So time frame, pre-planned calories and meals, workout and step goals. And if you're like me, draw out a chart, tick and cross, so you see the bad days and the good days, and you see that consistency matters and consistency counts. So on your postpartum, I hope this helps you on your postpartum fat loss journey. It's not linear. It's a crazy wild ride when you've got a newborn baby.